Cancer, these are our folks born from June 21st through July 22nd. Cancer is traditionally the crab. That's the animal that we've used as the symbol for Cancer. I like to think of a turtle. I think a turtle is a more apt symbol because with the turtle, yes, the Cancer does have a little bit of a crunchy outer shell, right? And they like to pull themselves in when it's time to withdraw if they're in a situation where they feel threatened. But ultimately, it's also because they kind of carry their home around on their back. Cancer types are nostalgic. They have a hard time getting rid of things, whether it's things, objects, or old lovers or old friends. They hold on to the people or the things or the thoughts, even the values that they consider important and that they have placed high on their, ladder of personal values or people that have made an impact on their heart. So with Cancer, you've got an individual who's interested in security. That's why they, with objects or money, they're good savers. A lot of times it's because they're trying to create this safe space in their life, all right? It's their womb. We associate Cancer with the home. We associate Cancer with, it's more of an introverted expression. Okay, so Cancers, a lot of times, if you had a pure Cancer, this is someone very sensitive and they are intuitive about where someone else is at emotionally, and they won't necessarily say anything. A lot of times they'll just see you and they'll notice you, and perhaps they're like sponges. They'll take things in, they'll take information in without you really maybe even knowing that they're taking it in, and then it will come back out later. They'll see you sort of repeat a pattern and they'll see, oh, okay, this person's experiencing this, and they'll come give you a hug, or they will touch you, or they will offer to make you a meal, or this is a Cancer thing. They're really sensitive to noticing these patterns in other people's emotional behavior. Even if you have a Cancer with an airy or an earthy moon, there's still this sponginess to them. On the high side with Cancer, we've got someone who is sensitive to others. We've got someone who does have a strong ambition. Their desire to create security feeds their drive. It feeds their career ambitions many times. You've got someone warm and affectionate. They have a nostalgic kind of nature to them. They can be sentimental in a way, so it depends on, of course, the entire chart, but a lot of times Cancers, they're pack rats in a way, whether it's that they collect a certain okay, so for example, my mom, she's a gardener and she plants anywhere she's lived, that she's always had these beautiful flowers and whatnot, and she kind of collects plants. She collects them and puts them around her, and makes this little plant home, and then she of course takes care of them. That's very Cancer, that hobby of hers. And then my boyfriend, for example, when he travels a lot for work. He collects he'll keep his flight. His flight tickets or his receipts, and he'll use them in his books as little bookmarkers, and they're little mementos to remind him of the trip, and they're also something he's keeping physically around him. So that's kind of Cancer, high side, but they're little pack rats in a way. But there's a nostalgic quality or sentimental nature to it. They also are really great at, as I said earlier, recognizing needs. They have this mothering instinct, this desire to make you feel better and to give you love and to take care of you. And in particular, if you're sick or if you're, just sad, emotionally having a hard time, that really pains them. They want to make you feel better. On the low side with the Cancer, they can be, because they're, like I said, there's this introverted expression of their life force. They can sometimes appear to be aloof or cold or standoffish. And they kind of are. Remember, like the crab with his little shell and his pinchers, he's like, ah. But really, a crab on the inside is mush, right? So they're protecting. They sometimes will stand back and sort of hang back, see if they're safe and secure in a situation, and then they'll interject themselves. So they have there's an introversion there of their self-expression. They can sometimes withdraw from conflict. A lot of the water signs, when there is heavy-duty fighting or a conversation that needs to happen that's not a comfortable conversation, water signs can sometimes withdraw. They check out, they back off, and they move away from the fight. Even if you have someone that's quite aggressive in other ways, they can sometimes, when their personal values are crossed, you know, like in work and things like this, they can sometimes pull back and be a little passive aggressive. So that's something that Cancers, you know, are known for. And it's almost because it's like they don't want to be hurt also, of course, but it's also they pull back from the fight a little bit, and then they have to kind of regather themselves, and then many times they'll come back. In a relationship with a Cancer, you just have to, if sometimes they do just need that time too where they're introverted and they're doing their own thing. So just let them do it, and they'll come back out. So they can be a little bit slow to open up. It also goes with the need for security. They can be moody, they can be broody like a broodmare, you know, kind of goes along with the motherly aspect. They have times in their life where they need to introvert, pull back, and just, you know, be to themselves so they can process things. And just let them do it, they'll come back out. So, okay, Cancer in love. Now, Cancer is our zodiac sign that is sort of the most in flux. It's ruled by the moon, and our moon is constantly changing in our sky every couple of hours even, right? It's moving, and I mean, it's changing every second. It's moving to some degree every second. So Cancer is the same. Cancer, and because also think of the moon, how we can see one side of the moon and the other side is in total darkness. This is like the Cancer's emotional nature in a sense. There's a polarity there. There's an up and down nature to it. There are times when the Cancer just really needs to, as I said earlier, they need to be inside of themselves. Okay. Now, a Cancer with a really good partner, a good partner will be someone that recognizes that and protects that in the Cancer. And my boyfriend, who's Cancer, has a quote that I love, and I'm gonna ruin it, but it's something about when you love someone, it's your job, it's your duty to protect the solitude of the partner, and that is the perfect quote for a Cancer to hold as their ideal quote about what ideal love looks like. It's your job to protect your partner's space and their feelings, and also it's your job to provide them with a little womb where they can truly open up and emotionally give you what they have to give and receive what you have to give to them. They are very deep people, and their ability to love can be overwhelming, even for, or I should say astounding is a better word. It can be astounding because it's really strong and deep, like the ocean, which is one of Cancer's rulerships. So Cancers, their expectations in love. Cancers are interesting. So while they have that introversion need, they also really enjoy having their partner physically around them. Whether they're kind of at home or just like running errands, they like being with their partner. There's a comfort there to having that other person physically close to them. It's a grounding kind of a comfort. And it's home. It's like they're home. So at home, obviously, being with you, but then also just going out and doing things together. That's something they enjoy, because it's like taking their little home with them. Remember, they're sentimental. They like to hold on to things. And so if you're their partner that they love, then they'll want to like be with you. They'll want to have you with them. Okay, so safety and security is also really important to the Cancer. They expect their partner to be loyal and to be devoted to them. And it's interesting, jealousy from a Cancer is different than you'd see from perhaps an Aries or like a fire sign like a Leo. Jealousy in all the signs is different. That would actually be a good video. That'd be an interesting video series. Jealousy in a Cancer, it comes more from hurt feelings. It's more like, I gave you all of this. I gave you all of me, and now I feel like you took advantage of that and have been focusing your directions elsewhere, you know. So they want to feel like it's safe for them to love you, and it's safe for them to accept your love in return, and that you're not going to hurt them once you're inside their little soft, mushy, you know, places. Cancer's biggest fear, you know, Cancer, they're moody, they're emotionally deep, and they sometimes go to dark places. It's really common for Cancer suns even, you know, Cancer mood even more so. There's an emotional depth there. This is the part of them that's vulnerable, and it's the part that they may worry may be unlovable, okay? That it's too much for someone else to have to deal with, or that they're not sure they just even want you to be in there because it just feels vulnerable and scary and like they're exposed. So their fear is that that's ultimately unlovable. Of course, it's completely incorrect. You know, we're all lovable. So with your Cancer, just be tender with them and make sure that they know that you appreciate the things that they do for you, and that you show them in return through your actions that you love them. If you're interested, if you really want to find out about the compatibility between you and your partner, you need to have an astrology reading done with an astrologer. The computerized reports are really cool, and you can order some great ones on astro.com. They're great for giving you an initial sort of step into the compatibility between two people and learning about synastry, but there is nothing like an astrologer going over your charts, because we look at first the individuals, and we look at the synastry together, the chemistry between the two people, which is very complex. I mean, we're looking at hundreds of thousands of possible, I mean, really, there's probably millions of possibilities when we look at the synastry between two people. But we are focusing it on, these areas that are important and relative to romance and romantic compatibility, which a computer can't do. A computer is just databases of, aspects between two people, right? An astrologer takes these aspects, the zodiac signs they're in, the houses that they're in, sees all these patterns, this inner working, this mechanization of these two charts together, these two humans, these two blueprints, how they lock and key fit. And the astrologer is able to make some deductions that are much more enlightening than what you would see from a computerized report. So computerized reports are great. They're a good place to start, but most of them cost like 40, 50 bucks. You can get a reading with an astrologer. It takes 90 minutes where you can record it and listen to it over and over again. $189 is what I charge for my relationship readings. If you're interested in that, give me an inbox. You can go to my website. You can actually book an appointment right on my website yourself, get it all taken care of without even having to message me first. I've got my schedule up there. So very easy and a lot of fun. You can do it via Skype or telephone or in person if you're here in Utah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you, and share with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you like it. I've tried to get stuff up regularly because it's my passion to share astrology with as many people as possible. So thank you so much, and see you soon. Bye.